Hey guys, let's get into some weekend astrology. It could be a pretty, honestly, like heavy, intense, powerful weekend that we've got going on. Lots of Pluto themes, lots of sort of like ending themes, lots of Saturn energy. Things could feel a bit like heavy or oppressive, or we may just feel like we've got to stay focused on something, like we've got to accomplish something, we've got to get something done, or there are some like obligations or responsibilities or commitments that we need to honor. We also have the sun entering the sign of Pisces this weekend. We are preparing for our new moon in Pisces that is going to be happening on the 20th. This is the very last weekend of some like real pure Aquarius energy. We will have both the sun and the moon in the sign of Aquarius this weekend as we are closing out our Aquarius cycle, our Aquarius season, heading towards this Pisces energy. So that will definitely be a shifting vibe on Sunday. The sun is leaving Aquarius, entering the sign of Pisces. Lots of energy to talk about this weekend, you guys. Lots going on in the vibrational field. Let's get into this report. Let's look at the next couple days in a little bit more detail and see what it might be bringing to us in our experience on the ground this weekend. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, February 17th, 2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the weekend. In this video, we are going to be looking at the energy that we have going on from an astrological perspective. Friday the 17th, Saturday the 18th, Sunday the 19th, leading us into the new moon in Pisces that we have coming up on the 20th. So we are wrapping up Aquarius season this weekend, you guys. We are getting our last dose of this true Aquarian energy until next year. The sun and the moon will both be in the sign of Aquarius this weekend as we close out this Aquarius cycle, our new moon in Aquarius cycle, and prepare for the Pisces energy that is incoming. On Sunday, the sun is moving into the sign of Pisces to set us up for the new moon in Pisces. So this is going to be bringing a bit of an energetic shift to us. And we also have, you guys, black moon energy going on this weekend. I forgot to mention that in my intro, but that is also likely to be coloring a bit of like our emotional experience this weekend. We could be feeling generally sort of triggered in this energy, and our fears, our worries, our insecurities, our doubts, especially in relation to like our ability to feel like recognized and appreciated and loved, and to have the ability to really like enjoy our experiences and feel like we're truly living our best life and stuff. This is the type of thing that may be coming up in a way that is just sort of maybe like triggering some of our deeper complexes or our ego in some type of way. We'll talk more about that. But to start the weekend off, and just generally throughout the course of this weekend, we do have a very Saturn dominant weekend. We have the sun in a conjunction to Saturn right now, only just 1 degree off. We have the moon transiting the sign of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, going to be coming into a conjunction with Pluto at the very last degree of the sign of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. And then as we move through the weekend, the moon is going to move into a conjunction with Saturn, while we have the sun also in a conjunction with Saturn. So lots of this Saturnian energy. Pluto energy going on as well. We have Venus and Pluto forming an aspect at the very, very last degrees of their sign. This is significant. The moon is going to be making a conjunction to Pluto at that last critical degree of the sign of Capricorn. Some towers could be coming down this weekend, you guys, but it's for the best. We are on the brink of some type of major transformation or change or rebirth if it hasn't already started happening, and this is just the type of stuff that is indicated for this weekend. Heavy, powerful, intense emotions. We could be feeling a bit emotionally triggered over this next couple of days. We may feel as though we are battling some type of demon or up against some type of powerful opponent or oppressive force. This could also be a vibe coming through with the Pluto Saturn vibes that we have going on, and we could just kind of feel like a little bit depressed or a little overwhelmed or a little overburdened or powerless. These duties, these responsibilities, these obligations could be weighing heavy on us this weekend, sort of consuming our focus, consuming our time and energy, and we may feel like there's just the weight of the world on our shoulders, or like, how are we going to persevere through whatever challenges might be sort of like stacking themselves up against us at this moment. But it's okay, you guys, we're going to get through this, and it's actually about showing us our stamina, showing us our ability to exercise self-discipline and self-control, or our need to do that, and trying to ultimately bring us to a place of self-empowerment and change the way that we're relating to ourselves and others. That's really sort of where this energy is pushing us. But in that process, it could just be sort of making us feel a heavy burden or a bit overwhelmed. We could feel very powerful on one hand in this energy and in control of our experience, or like on the polar oppositional end of it, we could also feel very powerless and very out of control. Remember, we do have Mars and Gemini right now. Energy is kind of operating on two very polarized, according to two very like polarized expressions. So Saturn, Pluto with the moon and the sun, and this energy that we'll be talking about as we get more into this report. We could be feeling, like I said, very self-empowered and very in control of our own destiny, which is the higher octave and the higher utilization of this energy, as long as we're not coming from a place of ego and domination and control and feeling our power through taking power from others, okay? But like I said, on the other hand, this is also an energy that could have us feeling quite powerless and quite out of control of the trajectory of our experience at this point in time. But like I said, it's okay. And we're actually, like, I don't want anyone to lose faith if you kind of just feel like your back's up against the wall, or like just coming to a point where it's like, how do I even go on, sort of, because we do have a Jupiter Chiron conjunction coming up that's going to be building over this next couple weeks, and as we're moving through the beginning of March. And I do feel like that energy is going to create some type of significant healing and like renewal for us in some type of a way. And we are moving into some energy, I feel like, that is going to be helping to us to really like overcome and reinstill the sense of faith and trust and confidence and belief in ourselves. Also on Saturday, the energy does switch a little bit. The moon in Aquarius is going to be making a positive aspect to Jupiter. So the heaviness of the energy on Friday is likely to be slightly alleviated in the energy on Saturday as well. So we're not taking it to, woe is me if things feel a bit difficult, or like I said, our back feels like, we're sort of up against the wall or something on Friday. That could just sort of be the vibe, but this energy will pass. Power and control are likely to be the themes just generally this weekend, though. Also, big emphasis still, you guys, on information, conversations, or things that could actually like take us out of our comfort zone, doing things a bit out of the ordinary. We have a moon square Uranus coming in this weekend as well. Themes of past and the future, though, are very strong right now. We could be coming in a way somehow face to face with both the past and where we're moving, or what we're trying to turn into and become now. But like themes of where we've been and where we're going could definitely be coming up this weekend. And on Friday specifically, it could be a very transformative day. We may feel ourselves sort of like stepping into or emerging into a new reality that is kind of like merging with us, I guess we could say right now, the new versions of ourselves that we are creating. On Friday, number one, we still have the sun in a conjunction to Saturn. This is a very tight orb. They're only 1 degree out of exact conjunction with each other, happening in the sign of Aquarius. Of course, Saturn is the traditional ruler of the sign of Aquarius. So this is some very strong Saturnian energy. We also have the moon in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn on Friday, coming into a conjunction with Pluto at this last critical degree in the sign of Capricorn. This is likely, this is one of the reasons why I'm calling this weekend for some more powerful or intense or heavy emotions. We're talking about a Capricorn moon. This already usually has a tendency of just being a bit less joyful and optimistic, making us feel more emotionally in tune with our responsibilities and our duties and our commitments. And again, the sense of self-discipline and self-regulation and self-control. It can be a bit more of a oppressive and controlling energy. And it's not just the most uplifting and happy and positive vibe. Simultaneously, we've got the sun in the conjunction to Saturn right now, which is also us walking hand in hand with this Saturnian energy, where it's almost like our sense of personal accomplishment and satisfaction can only be derived through our productivity and our work and our focus and our sense of personal accomplishment. So what we're working on, what we're working towards, our goals, this is the driving or the dominant force this weekend in what is leading to a sense of like personal satisfaction, or, feeling like we're on the right track or feeling good about ourselves. So, if we are not living up to a personal expectation, perhaps, or we are feeling like we're not as far along as we feel like we should be, there's just a tendency to be self-critical, to see the glasses half empty, to be a little bit pessimistic or just judgmental over ourselves, our productivity, our progress, which can obviously, just give us a bit more low vibe and cause us to just be more in like sort of like a melancholy, less optimistic, positive attitude and mindset and outlook. So that's sort of what we're navigating. And then when we bring in the Pluto at this last degree of the sign of Capricorn and the moon in combination, this is like could lead to some type of like critical or crucial just like events or ongoings or things happening. This honestly, like I have to be, I do feel like this is a destructive energy, okay? Destruction doesn't always necessarily have to be a bad thing, especially when it's the walls that we've built around ourselves that have become a prison that has been keeping us out of our authentic truth and potential. Especially, in regards to relationships as well, or authority, career, all types of situations, our reputation, our public image, our status. Like, these are the type of things, that could be facing some type of major transition right now. But I do feel like because it's this last degree, and the moon coming into the conjunction at this last degree, when we've got the sun and Saturn together, this is, I feel like significant implosions, demolition, purge, transition, transformation, the end of long established rules, orders, traditions, commitments, and submissions as well. This is also like coming to the end of various power dynamics and how they've been set up and how they've been in play and how they've been like interacting with each other. All about transforming power dynamics. Things could honestly get a little bit ugly in this energy. It's indicating these super, super powerful emotions and emotional reactions and emotional responses, but it's for the purpose of some type of transformation, evolution, metamorphosis that's going on these deeper levels. This also could bring up themes of abuse, bribery, blackmail, coercion, manipulation, domination, psychological control, influence, ruthlessness. This could be like vibes sort of like pure evil, but it's actually what is changing, what we're coming to the end of. And we could very much just feel sort of like under pressure about things or like brought to a breaking point in this energy. But like I said, Pluto is also rebirth. It's pure purge. It's purification. It's transformation. It's regeneration. At its core, along its highest octaves, Pluto is a deeply, deeply, deeply healing energy. So this is also some profound psychic subconscious healing that is trying to come through with whatever is going on as well. But a lot of times to heal issues, we need to realize that they're there. So things could be crumbling, things could be falling down. There could be some intense power struggles that are going on, some issues for sure with like power and control and things like that. But it's also about what we're becoming and what we're turning into as a result. The Sabian symbols on Friday are all very sort of telling along these regards. We have the sun at 29 degrees of Aquarius. That Sabian symbol is a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. The final the final steps in this ultimate transformation or ultimate process of metamorphosis and transformation. We have the earth at 29 degrees of Leo. A mermaid emerges from the ocean waves, ready for rebirth in human form. Like, it doesn't really get any more specific to this Pluto energy than that, especially considering we're actually transitioning out of the age of Pisces, which is this watery paradigm, into the age of Aquarius. And we're talking about a mermaid ready for rebirth out of the waves and into human form. Aquarius is one of the only signs of the zodiac that depicts an actual human executing and carrying out an activity in terms of like the glyph and the symbolism associated with this sign. We have Mercury at 9 degrees of Aquarius. A flag is seen turning into an eagle. There's another metamorphosis. There's another massive transformation in alignment with freedom and the expression of true potential. And we also have Jupiter at 10 degrees of Aries. A teacher gives new symbolic forms to traditional images, which is also talking about like an upgrade and an evolution and an alchemization and a change and metamorphosis of, you know, one thing with a certain meaning to something with like a higher, more evolved meaning that is more representative of and a better reflection of the like current state of things and where we're at now. So I feel like all of those four kind of primary symbols that we have going on Friday are referencing this moon Pluto energy, this rebirth energy, and also the sun and Saturn. Remember, this forms, this structures, this lays foundations. This is energy that wants us working towards our goals. That's why, you guys, we're likely to feel like there's a potential to feel like a little bit bad about ourselves if we know that we're not living up to our potential. Like, I feel like that is sort of what this energy is trying to do to us, maybe through whatever we're up against or whatever, is show us like where we're falling short of our own potential. Like, this is like constructive criticism, I feel like, is how we should maybe take the lessons that are coming through today, instead of just being like this harsh inner critic and, like I said, like, woe is me, or like internalizing this or that negative whatever about ourselves. We can look at the feedback that sort of universe is giving us today and see how we can use it to hold ourselves to a higher standard so that we can get more in alignment with activating our destiny and like being who we're truly meant to be, coming into alignment with the truth of our potential, which is what everything universe is driving us towards right now. And I'm telling you guys, when Saturn is about to move into the sign of Pisces during this Pisces season, we're going to be talking about this much more over this next couple days. Anywhere we're trying to escape reality, anywhere we're trying to avoid or hide from the commitment to our own like authentic potential, okay, this is not going to work out well. Like, this is not going to, it's not going to benefit us. There's going to be like instant karma, instant blowback, instant laying down of the law, you know what I mean? If we are avoiding the job that we know we're supposed to be doing in the energy over this next couple of years. So we've perhaps got some harsh lessons coming if we have been avoiding what this energy is trying to show to us now, okay? And like taking the steps to move ourselves forward, to lay these foundations in alignment with these transformations that are going on, that are trying to help us rise into this greater, better version of ourselves, in alignment with fulfilling our potential and activating the destiny that universe is calling us towards at this point in time. So just a word out there, putting that out there. But that's, I feel like, what this energy is really talking about on Friday. We are at a transition point, okay? Pressure makes diamonds, and that is the energy of today. It's showing us, you know, what we can overcome, what we can endure, what we can persevere from, who we really are and what we become if we sort of like get out of our own way, stop lying to ourselves, stop trying to fit ourselves into the boxes that were never meant for us, and allow ourselves to actually like spread our wings and fly in alignment with our true passions, what's really in our heart, and like all of our authentic potential that we are being pushed to discover and to cultivate as this energy unfolds. Universe is asking us to rise to the occasion, to overcome the hurdles, to heal and release and regenerate ourselves, release our past and step into our true power. That's what this energy and these experiences are about. We are being tested, okay? And we are leveling up. Energy for Friday. Let's move on now. Let's talk about the energy for Saturday. This is our last true blast of this Aquarius energy that we have going on. The moon is going to leave the sign of Capricorn, of course, where it was, the very last degrees with Pluto on Saturday, move into the sign of Aquarius. The sun is at 30 degrees of Aquarius on Saturday. The moon will be transiting the early degrees of Aquarius. So we've got both the sun and the moon, both luminaries in the sign of Aquarius, closing out our Aquarius cycle, our Aquarius season, and making a bunch of aspects in the process of doing that. The moon transiting the more early degrees of Aquarius is going to form first of all, a conjunction to Mercury, a sextile to Jupiter, a square to Uranus, and a trine to Mars. The Uranus-Mars energy is going to be happening simultaneously because Mars and Uranus are currently both at 15 degrees. I believe that's what it is. No, 16 degrees. They're both at 16 degrees of their signs right now. So when the moon gets to 16 Aquarius, it will square Uranus, trine Mars. this is probably a pretty like feisty, electrified, upbeat energy. There could be a very high energy and unusual things going on Saturday, things out of the ordinary. We might be doing some things or going to some places that we don't usually do or we don't normally go to. Bit of an unusual energy that we have going on Saturday, but there's also this past and the future energy coming through. There could be some important messages, information, places that we're going, again, people that we're seeing, interactions that we're having. We could find ourselves face to face with both the past and the future simultaneously somehow, coming up against sort of a crossroads. Which way are we going to go? Or just this mental and emotional alignment as well with the more authentic and real dimensions of ourselves, of our own nature, in the context of who we've been in the past and who we're becoming now. Past and the future are likely to be coming up and coming into our experience in one way or another throughout the course of the day on Saturday. We're also in this black moon energy, so there could be some of these deeper fears, insecurities, worries, doubts that are triggered. I'll talk about that more in a minute, but it could also, like I said, like people, places, situations, relationships, new and also from the past could be coming up. Likely to be also a very busy day. We've got the moon, like I said, making a ton of aspects, conjuncting Mercury, squaring the nodes, squaring Uranus, trining Mars, and sextiling Jupiter. So this is probably going to be a very just like busy day. Lots going on, lots of conversations. I mean, with the moon and Mercury together in the sign of Aquarius, this is definitely a busy day. The mind and the emotions are on the same page. So we are not holding back. We are saying how we really feel, especially with Jupiter in the sextile, out and about, emphasis on news, ideas, conversations, interactions as well. People speaking their mind. It's like letting the emotions flow, letting the feelings flow. There could be a lot of conversations going on about how people feel about things and what they've discovered about themselves in the context of how they feel about things, and also the past and the future. Like this is likely to be the themes going on in terms of the interplays with other people. Jupiter and Sagittarius forming a sextile to Mercury and the moon in the sign of Aquarius. People probably very open, like I said, about their thoughts and their feelings and pretty much like willing to expand on it. So you may not want to like start a conversation with somebody and really like ask them what their true thoughts are about something unless you really want to have like the whole conversation, because that's sort of the vibe that we got going on today. But this is also really good ideas and ability to analyze our own feelings and emotions, really sort of like get to the bottom perhaps of some of the triggers that might be manifesting. And like I said, we are in this black moon energy. Now, Jupiter's presence in the sextile to the moon and Mercury today going to do a lot to uplift us and sort of keep us from being pulled too far down into the trenches. I feel like this is going to be a lighter, more upbeat energy than we had going on for Friday. But we are in this black moon energy, black moon and Leo energy. Black moon, this is our shadow side issues. This can trigger our fears, our worries, our insecurities, our doubts. In the sign of Leo, this is likely to have to do with power, status, hierarchy, attention, admiration, rewards, recognition, love, and an ability to like have fun and enjoy life generally. People could be feeling very triggered if they are feeling unseen, unrecognized, unheard, or aren't receiving the attention that they want or that they feel they deserve. Definitely could be stirring up drama. It's so interesting. We currently have Mars right now. Speaking of drama, at 16 degrees of Gemini, this Sabian symbol is a woman activist on a platform in an emotional speech, dramatizing her cause. And like, I feel like that's sort of like the whole vibe of this weekend kind of, and especially of this energy that we have going on with the Mercury moon alignment in the sign of Aquarius, like needing to speak the authentic truth of our feelings, and with the sextile to Jupiter as well, like perhaps like in a very big expansive way. And with the black moon energy being activated, this could be again stirring up a lot of drama, could be some very attention seeking behavior that is going on as well. So, projections of ego could be something that we see happening. Superiority complexes could be something that we definitely see happening. Using people for power, fame, wealth, and status, that is an indication of the Black Moon and Leo energy, and also brings up themes of what would we sacrifice, what would we be willing to sacrifice or give up in terms of our own like authentic truth, in terms of the truth of our own heart, in order to gain some type of superficial love or attention. How do we betray the loyalty to ourselves in order to receive some type of external ego gratification that we feel like is satisfying us on the more superficial levels, but really is not like feeding the truth of our heart? How does our ego control us and keep us from experiencing true love and true joy in alignment with the authentic needs of the inner child? We're dealing with Leo, the sign of Leo. This has a lot to do with the inner child energy and the authentic creative potential, and what really lights us up inside, and what really makes us grow and thrive and feel alive, and what sparks that creative inspiration within us. Where are we denying ourselves that experience because we are sacrificing that and who we truly are to receive some type of more superficial version of those things, some type of like plastic version of those things externally from other people? It also could just, this energy could sort of just be bringing up issues where we're sort of feeling forced to do things that are against our will, or that steal our joy, or that make us feel unloved, or that we just generally like don't enjoy doing. Not being allowed to go to the party, like that sort of a vibe that could be coming up, or like not being invited to like the big party where all like the popular people are and stuff. Like that is sort of a scenario that I feel like is in alignment with the energy that the Black Moon and Leo can like invoke or provoke within us. So people could just generally be triggered in the solar plexus energy, feeling like unrecognized, unloved, unable to enjoy life, and then maybe projecting it out, making it your fault, making it because of you, and you're the reason that they can't have fun, or you're the reason that they're not happy, or you're the reason that they are burnt out, or you're the reason that they can't enjoy their life, or you know, all this, that, and the other thing. Like this is the type of thing that could be being triggered with this Black Moon Leo energy that we have going on, and really verbalizing feelings about it in like some type of big way as well, with Mercury and the Moon talking about our feelings, and Aquarius talking about our real feelings, our authentic feelings, but with the sextile to Jupiter in maybe like a more big or expansive way. Or you guys, on the flip side of this, if we are coming from a more a place of actually doing our shadow work instead of just feeling our triggers and shoving them onto somebody else or projecting them outwards, if we are taking accountability, which also is a major theme of the energy this weekend as well. I feel like accountability is a big deal in the vibes coming through. And like I said, as we are moving through this transit of Saturn through the sign of Pisces, accountability is going to be quite a big thing as well. But analyzing our own triggers, you guys, like the triggers that are coming up, getting to the root of them, figuring it out, our own triggers and childhood wounds, and how they are impacting our ability to experience love and joy and fun in our lives now, instead of, you know, taking our scenario and maybe like feeling not so great because we realize that, you know, our life really isn't making us happy, maybe like not making it somebody else's fault, and instead looking within, searching within, figuring out where this is stemming from and what we can do to purge, purify, heal, integrate, regenerate, you know, fill the void within us, come to a point where we are experiencing greater sense of wholeness and happiness inside, so that we can experience a greater sense of wholeness and happiness outside as well. This is a very, very productive energy for being accountable for our own shadow work in this energy. And with the Saturn conjunct the Sun, you guys, it will be worth it. It will create a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment and like self-approval and stuff like that. Whatever work we do to better ourselves in this energy, whatever accountability we take, is going to benefit us in the long run, definitely. And especially also in terms of our own like sense of personal gratification and like accomplishment. Kind of, it's going to be meaningful to us moving forward. So we've got that going on as well. Honestly, probably just a busy day with a lot happening that has us, you know, thinking and talking about our feelings in the context of the past and the future, maybe some of these fears or just darker aspects of our psyche or our insecurities maybe coming up in one way or another. The moon, like I said, is also going to be forming the square to Uranus today and a trine to Mars. This is the energy that could have us sort of doing things a bit out of the ordinary, some unusual experiences, very action oriented day. We could really be like taking some action to do something in a very spontaneous way, or there could just be some really random stuff that is playing out and that is happening. But aside from the black moon energy, I really do feel like on Saturday, this is likely to be a much more uplifted vibe, much more positive energy than we had going on Friday. Pretty good day overall, maybe even feeling a bit inspired and enthusiastic and optimistic with the mental and emotional alignment, Mercury and the moon coming together in the sextile to Jupiter, which is expanding this energy. But definitely, I'll say it again, an emphasis on messages, conversations, interactions, information coming through, and the significance that they're representing for us in one way or another at this time. We're in like life-changing energy, you guys. It may not be happening today or tomorrow, but sometime, most likely over the course of this past couple weeks or this next couple weeks, you're likely to have some type of interaction or gain some type of information or have some type of experience that really does have some type of life-changing impact or effect on your life, on the course of your life, on your understanding of things, or that really just like plays some type of transformative role in shifting you from one paradigm personally into another. That's the vibe. That's where we're at right now. It's all pretty significant. We have Mercury and the moon coming to the conjunction on Saturday is at 11 degrees of Aquarius. During a silent hour, a man receives a new inspiration that may change his life. Again, these messages coming through, the conjunction between Mercury and the moon, it could, pay attention today. Intuition, conversations, things that you overhear. This is in square to the nodes as well, the past and the future. I keep talking about that. Divine alignments, divine timing. There could just be some very profound messaging coming through that has some type of impact that is greater than you might imagine in terms of some perhaps maybe type of life-changing effect. We also have the Earth on Saturday, 30 degrees of Leo. An unsealed letter has vital and confidential information. A divine inspiration coming through, an unsealed letter, both of these things talking about messaging, talking about information, what we're learning, what is hitting us. We've got the moon squaring Uranus as well. This is awakening. Something could definitely be just like coming into our experience on Saturday that transforms something for us in one way or another, has some type of perhaps life-changing effect. And then with Mars at that degree about the woman on the platform, in an emotional speech, dramatizing her cause, people airing grievances as well, I feel like is kind of all the vibe on Saturday. So that's what we've got going on Saturday. Let's move on now. Let's talk about Sunday. This is the day when the sun leaves Aquarius, moves in the sign of Pisces. So we've got a major energetic shift that is happening in the energy on Sunday, shifting the whole vibe. This Pisces energy is a much softer energy than the Aquarian energy, much more receptive, much less active and assertive, going with the flow instead of like being the full force of the wave. That's sort of the energetic transition that we are moving into. Pisces is also the last sign of the zodiac. Again, this is about endings. This is about closing out chapters. This is about graduating. This is about completion, okay? So we are there, and with simultaneously Venus and Pluto both at 30 degrees of their signs in sextiles, I feel like this Pisces cycle is going to have a lot to do with coming to the end of the road, you guys, in terms of some relationship dynamics, ways of relating generally. And again, this transformation and this rebirth in terms of our own sense of self-worth, our values, our value systems, and what we value generally. And in terms of relationship dynamics, how we're relating to ourselves, how we're relating to others, definitely up for some major transformations over the course of this Pisces cycle. On Sunday, I feel like this is another very good day for self-analysis and examining our own perceived or self-imposed limitations, perhaps, in the context of our true desires and our desires to relate with others. We've got a very Saturnian day going on again on Sunday. We had a very Saturnian day on Friday. We've got a very Saturnian day again on Sunday. Saturday is kind of like the oddball day of the weekend. Of course, it would be with Uranus in effect, but Pluto and Saturn, Friday vibes, Sunday vibes for sure. The moon is going to be in Aquarius, coming into a conjunction with Saturn on Sunday. This is a cold, detached, emotionally like heavy, maybe like isolated, depressed, again, this like down or burdened type of vibe. We might be sort of like on the lower spectrum of our optimism on Sunday. And though we do have the sun moving into the sign of Pisces, the sun is still in a conjunction to Saturn. So both the luminaries in a conjunction to Saturn and the sun moving into Pisces. Again, Pisces, this is about completion. This is about release, surrender, detachment. We could feel like escaping reality or our commitments or our responsibilities. That could be a major vibe coming through on Sunday, a desire to just sort of hide from it all, not face it, get away, not think about it, not look at it, sort of like turn our back to the challenges or the difficulties or like the insurmountable things maybe that we feel like we need to face. And again, like we're probably not in all of our feelings so much in the energy on Sunday, because even though the sun is moving into Pisces, which is a much more sensitive and emotional feeling-based sign than Aquarius, all of the Saturn energy is probably, that's a very like unaffectionate, like I said, like cold, detached, emotionally sort of like unavailable energy. And although Pisces is a more sensitive, emotionally connected energy, it also detaches and it also hides and it also avoids and it likes to, it dissolves things, it breaks things down. So I don't feel like that is really helping all of that much in terms of the like emotional sentiments that may be coming through. And I feel like we're probably just not going to want to be dealing with a lot of things in the energy on Sunday. Now, the other major thing aside from the sun moving into the sign of Pisces that we have going on Sunday is this exact sextile between Venus in Pisces and Pluto in Capricorn. Now, what makes this specifically significant to me and a little bit more powerful is the fact that both of these planets are at the 29th degree, the very last degree of the signs that they're in, making this aspect. So, I mean, we could talk about Pluto and Venus in the sextile. Like this is generally, it puts a very powerful emphasis on relationships and friendships, and it can make love relationships and just all types of relationship dynamics more intense. It brings up like deep emotional needs and desires and the context of relationships and stuff like that. But with this happening at these very, very last like critical degrees of these signs, I feel like this is also facilitating. This is a sextile aspect. This is a assisting aspect. This is a supporting aspect. I feel like this is sort of also facilitating breakdowns and shifts and endings and powerful transformations in these Venus themes: relationships, value, love, desire, self-worth, letting go perhaps of what we have been like desperately holding on to because of maybe a sense of lack or not perceiving our ability to, regain maybe like what we feel like we might be losing, but coming to this point in time where we're sort of ready to surrender and to let go of what we've been holding on really like tightly and intensely to. Again, friendships, relationships could be more important today or be playing more of a crucial role in our experience on Sunday than they usually do. This life-changing energy, again, like Pluto and Venus in a sextile. Venus is relationships. Venus is socializing. Venus is interacting. Pluto is power, tense, transformation. Something about what's going on, our interpersonal dynamics, the socializing we're doing, the conversations, the relating with other people could have some type of life-changing quality to it because of so many different things, but it's all like pointing back to that same theme playing out over the course of really this entire weekend. But this aspect is another thing that is indicating this, especially at these very last degrees of the sign. I feel like indicating it even more so. It also may be bringing up the question within us, right? Like, how do my deep emotional and like heart-based needs and wants and desires affect my relationships? If we are doing our shadow work with the black moon still in the sign of Aquarius, and we are, doing this introspection and the self-examination, and we are, maybe seeing where or why, figuring out why things aren't filling us up inside to the extent that we feel like we should be, maybe this energy can really help us to reconnect with like our deeper emotional needs and desires and see how those are affecting our current relationships, and make some like adjustments or improvements or heal some things within us so that we can experience better qualities of relationships, regenerate the quality of our relationships moving forward. This type of thing is very supported in the energy on Sunday. But regardless, we're likely to be having or experiencing just some very powerful feelings in regards to others. Deep, intense connections, nothing superficial. We don't want anything superficial, anything surface level when we've got this particular Venus Pluto energy going on, contact going on, the sextile, digging to the core, like looking for the root of the connective force that like binds things together. It's extraordinary force and vigor of emotion can definitely be coming through with this as well. And in the context, you guys, of the Saturn luminary energy, we want to make sure that we are not trying to exert control on other people in this energy. That's sort of one of the red flags when we've got Saturn with the sun and the moon, the sun in the sign of Pisces, and this Venus-Pluto energy. We don't want to be pulling the puppet strings in somebody else's story. You know what I mean? We don't want to be forcing people to do or behave or act how we want in order to like meet an agenda. We want to use this energy to get to the bottom of our own issues and figure out how we can like better control our own emotional reactions and responses to improve the relationship dynamics that we find ourselves in going forward. But it can indicate, this energy normally can indicate the beginning of an unusually intense relationship that may again have sort of like a faded or life-changing quality. But with it happening at the 30 degrees at the very end of these signs, I do feel like it could be beginnings or endings perhaps of these unusually intense relationships with the like faded air or faded quality to them energy. But endings and beginnings, you guys, in relationships, perhaps that have been going on for a very long period of time that we are finally coming to the end of, finally moving away from, finally walking away from, or it could be these divine alignments coming in right now, where there's something that we really need to learn or experience as a result or with the people that are aligning with us in our experience at this point in time. So, all of that type of stuff, very present, very indicated in the energy this weekend. Also, like I said, we're still in this black moon energy with both the moon and the sun and the conjunction to Saturn on Sunday, as well as the moon in Pisces and the Venus-Pluto conjunction, and Saturn also about to move into Pisces as well. I was saying this earlier, you guys, it's not going to hurt us to like start sort of applying it now. We absolutely will not be able to hide from reality or the truth about things basically like across the board, starting now, like throughout the course of this Pisces cycle that is going to be coming up in the next couple days and moving through this next couple of years when Saturn enters the sign of Pisces. This is going to be instant karma, instant backlash for avoiding or hiding from a deeper confrontation with our own authenticity and our own truth. Accountability, you guys, is everything now and moving through this next month and this next couple years. An obligation, a responsibility to self-discipline, self-control, integrity, hard work, our commitment to truth, our commitment to our own authenticity, and the potential for our future. Universe is our next lesson, according to Saturn, the teacher, the disciplinarian, is to develop our skills, develop our potential, cultivate our spiritual connection, get in alignment with our higher selves. If we're not doing that, you guys, things are likely to go a bit off the rails and kind of get a little bit challenging and a little bit difficult over this next couple years with Saturn coming into the sign of Pisces. Denying our spiritual truth, denying our destiny, denying our higher purpose. Not going to work out so well. And again, it all comes down to accountability, integrity, authenticity, And Jupiter right now in the sign of Aries as well, having the courage and the faith and the strength and the motivation in ourselves, the belief in ourselves to go in this new direction, to seize the day and to move towards this process of self-actualization, which I always talk about is the bridging factor into this collective rebirth, this collective transition into the age of Aquarius. So that's basically what we've got to say for this weekend, you guys. Very intense endings, transformations in relationship dynamics, perceptions of worth and value, forcing us to face our own inner nature. We are in this Black Moon Leo energy this weekend, strong as well. Let's talk about the Sabians really quick for our energy for Sunday. There's a lot of them that I feel like are sort of significant and on the same page with each other. The Earth is at 1 degree of Virgo. In a portrait, the significant features of a man's head are artistically emphasized. We have Mercury at 12 degrees of Aquarius, people on a vast staircase graduated upwards. Venus at 30 degrees of Pisces, a majestic rock formation resembling a face is idealized by a boy who takes it as his image of greatness, and as he grows up begins to look like it. We also have Saturn 29 Aquarius, a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. We've got Pluto at 30 degrees of Capricorn, a secret meeting of men responsible for world affairs. And last but not least, we do have Mars at that degree 16 Gemini, a woman activist on a platform and emotional speech dramatizing her cause. So, you know, all of these combined, I feel like this is talking about seeing our truth, analyzing our own thoughts and our own thought processes, seeing ourselves as and for who we really truly are, growing, changing, evolving, speaking our truth, and taking back our power. And again, like, those are all sort of the relevant themes that are coming through in the context of this 2023 year that we're at right now, and moving through this part of our process in terms of our energetic transition into the age of Aquarius. So that's what I'm going to say today, you guys. Oh my gosh, that was a long one. Let's grab one more card. Synchronicity card, God, Spirit, Universe. What is a piece of advice, piece of guidance, mantra to get us through this weekend? What do we need to keep in mind in the midst of what could be some heavier vibes that we're going through this weekend? Although Saturday should be pretty good. Saturday should be pretty upbeat. This card says, don't fight it. So we are surrendering to the processes of things this weekend, you guys, and trying not to be too overly like harsh on ourselves, although constructive criticism to help us could be coming through, and we don't want to deny that as well. Release those subject to bondage, Hebrews 2:15. Whatever type of restrictions or bondage you find yourself experiencing, don't fight against it mentally. Know God will open up a new door for you and lead you to your peace and freedom. And like, that's what the centered energy is. It's this restriction, it's this bondage, along with the Pluto. You know, what have we been attached to? This type of stuff coming up, so that we can see it, right? So that we can learn about it, but also that so that we can break free from it, so that we can heal from it, so that we can release ourselves from it. And God is opening up a new door for you. Know this, that will lead you to your peace and your freedom. So that's what I have to say today, you guys. Message from the stars and the piece of guidance from God, Spirit, Universe to sort of use as a mantra as we're going through this weekend. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think they would like this kind of content, be interested in this type of astrology as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I love your comments. I'm so grateful for all of you being here. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. I really appreciate you. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group. Do you hear that thunder? A Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff in my description box below if you guys are into any of that. I write a blog that goes along with each of these videos. It's different than these videos, but it's kind of the same written form. I post that over in the Facebook group if you're into any of that. Come back with me on Monday, you guys. We have a busy first couple of days of this week, this next week coming up. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We've got some big aspects playing out. And of course, our new moon in Pisces is coming in on Monday. So I will be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. I will see you then, guys. Have a beautiful weekend. And until next time, bye, guys.